G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up our post install, and instead of running the make esnix os script, we're going to set up manually. So we need to first of all, I've got all this installed. We're going to be checking this out. Let me put things in order. So I'm going to take you through how I set up my Debian 10. And the first thing I normally start off with is the sources.list. Open a terminal and we're going to sudo nano. Well, actually I haven't set up sudo yet, so we'll run it as root and we'll do it that way. So let's do it that way, so it'll be just nano. So etc apt sources.list. Now as you can see, we've got we've got our sources.list there now, which should be the same as probably this one here. So if I hold the control key and scroll the mouse, we can zoom cherry tree in a little bit and have a look what we've got here. So the main things that we're interested in here is the contrib and non-free. And we need to add that contrib and non-free after every line with the word main, which is pretty much all of them anyway. So you can see there. So what we're going to do is we need to use the arrows here. Alright, so we've done that, and we shall Control O to save, enter, and then Control X to exit that, and then we shall do an apt update, and that should bring everything into line there with the updates that we've done there. Now we also need to add a multimedia. So the multimedia one is down the bottom here, as you can see. So we'll copy that and we'll do the nano etc apt sources.list again. And we'll enter that once and paste in there. Control O to save, enter, and Control X to exit. And then we can do another update. Probably should have done that at the same time as the contrib non-free. Would have made more sense. Now to change the SID, all you need to do is change buster to SID. To change the testing, you just need to change buster to testing. So let's have a look at that again once more. So as you can see here, this is all buster. Now if you're going to change to SID or bullseye, I think it is now, bullseye is the new testing, then you'll change buster to bullseye there and there. Or if you're going to use SID, you can go change that to SID and change that to SID and do an upgrade. And I believe it's only those first two that we need to change. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. We may need, I don't think you change the security, and I'm pretty sure you don't change this volatile one. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I definitely know it's these first two lines. If you're going to be safe, those first two lines I'm pretty sure are the best ones to change. So next I'm going to add the backports. Now I haven't got the backports here. I know I've got them somewhere. Maybe under here. Backports repo. So this one here we can also add. Let's copy that. You'll notice that that relates to my Australian location, which is the rnet.edu.au. So we shall paste the backports into there and Control O to save, Enter to save, Control X to exit, and let's do an update, make sure that everything is okay. So now we've got this no public key ring. So that's another issue we have with this is the key ring. So what we need to do there is codecs. We need to install wget we'll get rid of the sudo because I'm running as root. So wget's already the new version. Let's see if that one works. Hopefully all goes well with that. So that looks like it's all gone through. So let's do another update. Yeah, well, we've done wget, haven't we? So I need to do that as well. I've missed a step. Getting a bit ahead of myself there. So we need to run that there. That command there. Okay, so let's see how we go now. And as you can see, all is looking good. So we've got an upgrade there. So what we'll do is I think I'll do the upgrade first. Apt full-upgrade, and let's run that. So while that's running, probably what I need to do with this document here is put all of these things that I'm doing in order on one page, so you can just copy in order of things to do. So in the terminal I could just put everything I need, bang bang bang, done, and just do an update and upgrade, and bang, it's a done deal. So I need to probably, except for the fact that you need to do your updates in between as you add things, especially the multimedia, you bring that down, then I've got to install that, run the install command. And then there's the apt update and the upgrade. So this one here is my multimedia here. Apparently these ones don't work anymore. Only this one here works out of those three, I believe. Something like that. I'm not sure if they're still needed. They've probably been superseded by something else, I would say. So we'll see how we go with that one. So that is complete. So what we're going to do here is apt install this one here for multimedia. I'm not sure, haven't really checked that one out, so I'm not really sure what that one is all about. It's just a recommended part of the, so it's in there anyway. So it's obviously been superseded by something else after the update. So that's cool. So what we need to do now is add our libdvd css2. Actually, we only need to do that bit there. I keep going the wrong way. That as well. these ones here. I think Esnix script installed a lot more than that, I believe. I'm not sure how much more. So as you can see, and the whole point of this video is just to show you that how convenient the script is that Esnix did, because the make Esnix OS script. I could have done all these commands in one hit. I'm probably be smart for me to change this whole thing here, where all these commands, once all the appropriate repos have been put in place, I could run all these commands all in one hit, which would make it so much easier. I suppose I could do that. That's just all the information I've taken over time on how to get your Debian install very much up and running. So that's I think that's pretty much it for all of that. And the only other thing is, I believe, is at the bottom of this sources list here, I believe you need to install firmware-linux-nonfree. I'm not sure if it's non-free. Let's have a look, see if that's in the script, make Esnix OS script. There it is. So firmware Linux. So that's what Esnix is doing, firmware Linux. And don't forget, we've still got, I don't know if I want to install all of these, but I've still got a lot of, if I was to keep this install, I still have a lot of applications I need to install. So, but this one, firmware Linux, I believe needs to be in there. I'm not sure if that's the right command, or firmware non-free. Everyone does things different, but I have to think that the non-free, we can try that one. So what we'll do there is Linux non-free. Let's try the whole lot and go for that. And it's probably really good practice that once you've run through all your commands and installed the things that you want to install, that you need to install. Case in point, this one here, I'm going to do this firmware Linux thing, and that's done. Now I want to reboot because I've done a lot of installing. I don't think I'll worry too much about applications in this one, although what we can do is, first of all, we'll go usermod, let's do sudo usermod dash little a dash capital G sudo colon, and enter that, and let's exit that, and what I'll do is I'll do a reboot, and then we'll come back into it and just install a couple of applications just for the purpose of the video, and then we'll probably end it there. Right, so we've rebooted and we're back in the system. All's going well. What we shall do is head to our terminal and do a sudo apt update. Sudo's working no problem at all. Sudo apt full dash upgrade, and all is good. So we are completely up to date. Now, if I wanted to install software, and just like Esnix script, and let's have another look at that if I can find it. Let's right click and open with text editor. Now you probably won't see everything he does in here because I think it probably refers to a couple of other things that he's got in his other folder. So as you can see, apt-get install, and he installs all this. So it's the same as us installing through the terminal. Let's pick a couple of applications here. So we'll do P7-zip full, Thunderbird, handbrake. Let's do that. Sudo apt install Thunderbird handbrake p7-zip -full. We can do gimp. So let's do that. Start with and go yes. And if we know the full list of applications we're going to install, that's how we would do it, exactly how Esnix has done it in his script here. So I've had a look through the script. Like he said, it's open for people to look at. You can check it out, what he's doing. Quite honestly, I think I don't need my list that I've got there, because the way Esnix has got this script set up, this is an awesome little script to get everything going, and it'll save you a bunch of time doing it manually like I'm showing you here. Although my manual way is probably pretty clunky at best, because I just do things the slow, hard way. But there are quicker ways of doing it. Like I said, I could make some changes to my list there and just amalgamate everything together in one list and just follow it through and do as much as I can in Nano, in the sources.list and so forth, and just streamline that whole process. So I could do that, or I could just grab hold of make Esnix OS, which makes things a lot easier. So let's have a look. We should have now, let's have a look. Thunderbird, gimp. I cannot see handbrake. So did handbrake install? Don't know if there was an error there or something. Maybe it's a handbrake-gtk. I've seen handbrake in here. Now I'm looking for it. I can't find it. Handbrake, yeah, handbrake and handbrake-cli. But still it should install. No, it didn't install. So we've done a reboot. Something really bizarre is going on here. I don't know why. It's saying handbrake is installed. And if I go to the software center and do a search for handbrake, it says it's installed. However, it's not launching. So I'm not really sure what is going on there. If I search for it in the system, there's nothing to be found. That's really bizarre. And if I sudo apt install handbrake, it already tells me it's the newest version. I haven't come across that before. That's really bizarre. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'd have to probably check that out. I know it was working. I'm very sure it was installed with the previous install when I run Esnix script. Unless I'm missing some type of dependency I'm unaware of, I'm not really sure. And the other, actually that's the other thing we'll install. Sudo apt install asunder. Let's do that. And while we're doing that, we will check our DVD and make sure our DVD plays. Just check that out, make sure we got, I hope I've got a player there that'll play it. I haven't got VLC in. Maybe that's what we're missing. We'll install VLC and see if that helps with the issue with handbrake. That's probably not a bad idea. So as you can see, after a whole load of carry on, and a lot of nonsense noise from the DVD player. It looks like it has it's actually mounted itself. Okay, so it's done that. Let's just wait till VLC is installed and we'll run a VLC, and let's do that. And as you can see, the movie is playing no problem. So that's all good. So we have DVDs playing in here, so that's all good. Let's eject that. And we'll get out the lovely Shania Twain disc. It's only a single I bought many years ago. And we'll check that out with, oh, okay. And we'll use asunder to make sure that that's working and appropriate codecs can be selected. Asunder DVD ripper. And there we go. So I don't know what the difference is with what I've done and what Esnick's script did, because I had to click on this to get the info, but on this one it just came up automatically. So that's really strange. I've still got no handbrake. So no matter what I've installed, there's no handbrake. That's weird. So that's all working well. Well, actually, I didn't check the codecs, did I? So let's do that. Preferences, encode. Yep, we've got all the available codecs there, so not a problem at all. Okay, so probably just doing a very quick search for a resolution here is sudo apt install handbrake-gtk. I have to think that's a GNOME thing, I believe. And that's probably why nothing's working with Handbrake, because we need the GTK in that. I'm not sure whether I've blown away the Esnick's install, so I'm not sure whether it was actually working with his script or not, but he definitely doesn't have the GTK script in there. So there's Handbrake there. Now it's working. Okay. So that's all good. Not a problem. Everything is up and running as much as I would like. Now the only one other thing I will mention is, let's see, we got in here on the Debian info somewhere in amongst all of this, backports repo. And I've probably got information all over the place here, which is not good. Okay, here it is here. So to install backports, and the example I've given here is LibreOffice. That would probably be one if you need the latest LibreOffice. I'm not sure whether that's backported yet, because Buster's probably released too early. I'm unsure about that. But you could sudo or apt install -t. That would be now buster-backports, I believe. So let's have a quick look. I'm not sure what the command is. I don't follow Debian. I normally haven't gone that deep into Debian, to be honest with those things. Let's have a quick look. So we could probably apt, let's see, yeah, apt search probably -t buster-backports LibreOffice. Let's check that out. I don't know if you can search that or not. So there we go. We've got some results there. LibreOffice. Now I'm not sure what LibreOffice is up to in here. 6.1, 6152, 6153, there's some stuff there. Okay, so it looks like it's installed automatic anyway. So backports, you could probably use that command for things like your maybe NVIDIA cards if you need to use a backported NVIDIA card. But I don't think backports would be needed too much at the release of Buster, because everything's pretty much been brought up to speed anyway. So you probably don't have too many backports there, I wouldn't think. I'm not overly familiar with backports, so I can't really talk too much on that. Somebody might be able to give me some information on backports there. I'm not 100% sure. I have used them before, but only when I was on Stretch, and I think I updated some LibreOffice in Stretch. Now, Stretch is fairly old, so it makes sense that anything that's been put into testing, I would say, would probably be backported to Stretch, which is what you're seeing here as a 6152 LibreOffice backported to Stretch, because they probably were on LibreOffice 5, so that makes sense. But at the moment we're, on Buster, which is pretty much up to speed. I know LibreOffice is probably a little bit more advanced than what it is in here, but maybe not too much. So I'm not really sure what it's up to, but it can't be that far off anyway. So that is my post-install setup the manual way. And as you can see, there's a fair bit of messing around with that. Whereas if you was to go for the make Esnix OS, his little script just installs everything that you need. As you've seen, I've got everything running the same as I did with the previous video with featuring make Esnix OS. Everything's up and running, but running his scripts was just so much easier. So that is my Debian 10 Buster post-install the manual way. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting and informative, and thanks for watching.